Welcome back to Your Darts, where we learn to do dart checkouts in our head. We are continuing with board management, so please join me. We're going to cover the pros and cons of using different trebles, identify the potential dangers and take advantages when we can of any second chances. So let's talk about 105 and how to manage this number. Okay, so we're going to go for treble 20 first, because treble 20 is our bread and butter. Okay, it's what we throw out the most, so we're going to investigate that. So treble 20, the formula for treble 20 with any 3-digit number is to put 40, when you know you're throwing treble 20 for your first dart, put 40 onto the last 2 digits of any 3-digit number, in this case 105, so it would be 45. And as a 20s player, I would go 5 for tops. Now, why is that an advantage? Well, I'm not moving my dart too much. It's always an advantage. Just those minor little changes, a lot easier than if you have to suddenly go from the top of the board to the bottom of the board. So straight away, that's an advantage. If you're a 16s player, you would just take off 2 from the last digit. So 2 off 5 is 3, so 13 double 16. And if you're an 18s player, you add on 4 onto the last digit. So 4 onto 5 is 9, so 9 double 18. Okay. Now let's do the practicing for the miss rule. That's what I call, for instance, we're going for treble 20 now. What would it be if we miss treble 20 and hit the big 20? That's what's going to happen more commonly than hitting treble 20. And you take 20 off 105, would be 85. And the 2 dart finish for 85 is treble 15, which is 45 for tops. If you hit the big 15, it would leave 70. Okay. Now, should you go treble 20 with 105 with 3 darts? Absolutely think you should. And why? Because we've also got decent, so here the second chances, or not so much a second chance here, more like a familiar finish. So you hit the 1, it still leaves you a 2 dart finish on 104. And if you've got 104 and you've got 2 darts left, you're going to go treble 18, which is 54 for bullseye, which is 50. And also, if you hit another reason was to go for treble 20 for 105 with 3 darts, is because hitting 5 also doesn't get you in trouble. It still leaves you 100, and the 2 dart finish for 100 is treble 20 for double 20. Hitting the big 20 would leave 80, which would be treble 20 double 10, or you can go double 20 double 20 if you're feeling like a bit of a rock star. Okay, so yes, so far treble 20 looks really good. Let's try treble 18. So treble 18, the formula is you put, let's get the right color, you put 46 onto the last 2 digits, so 46 onto 05, so it will be 51. Okay, 51. And if you're a 20s player like me, you would go 11 double 20, of course. If you're a 16s player, you just take 2 off the 1, which would be 9, so it will be 19 double 16. And if you're an 18s player, you add 4 onto the 1, so 5, so it would be 15 double 18. Okay, so now practicing for the miss, we're going for treble 18. We miss treble 18, hit big 18, just take 20. Always take them off in multiples of 20, it makes life easier. 20 off 105, so 85, add 2 more on, so 87. And the 2 dart finish for 87, because remember you've got 2 darts left. Always know how many darts you've got left, it's always a good way. 87, treble 17 for double 18. Okay, of course hitting the big 17 would leave 70. Okay, always know what that will be, always know what it will be if you miss the treble and hit the big number. So practicing for the miss. Okay, now should you go that way? I think treble 18s is another very good valid point or valid reason to go when you got 105 for 3 darts, because hitting 1, obviously we've said it leaves 104, but hitting 4 leaves 101, and the essential 2, it leaves you an essential 2 dart finish, which is what we're familiar with as well. It's a familiar finish. So 101 2 darts is treble 17, which is 51, leaves 50 for bullseye. Okay, hitting big 17 would leave 84. Now, so yeah, so far treble 20, treble 18 makes sense. Okay, Well, let's go to another number. Let's investigate treble 17. Maybe there's something here we've missed. It's not something I've ever tried for 105. Let's find out the formula. You put 49 onto the last two digits, so 49 onto 05s, so 54. Okay, so you got 54. So it'll be 14 tops. And if you're an 18s player, you just put 4 onto 4. So you put 4 onto here. So plus 4 would be 8. Okay, get the idea. Okay, made a mess of that. So 18 double 18. Okay, so 3 18s is 54, of course. Anyway, so but would you go that way? And no, you wouldn't. Can you spot the dangers? See if you can spot them. There is big dangers here. 2 is a massive danger. Hit the 2 on 105. You leave 103. It's not on the essential 2-dot finishes list. It's not a golden 44 number, so no. And if you hit 3 again, it's same thing. You leave 102, and that's not a golden 44 number either. You wouldn't not be able to take out that number with 2 darts left. So straight away we can rule out treble 17, and we're also ruling out. Obviously, it's surrounded by danger, so that's obviously a reason to rule it out. But also, treble 17 is not a favoured treble to start on. I'm checking this out just in case we see a gem and we see something, because really I've never even checked out treble 17 for 105, and now I know why it's no good. So perfect, that's helped me as well. Okay, now let's go for treble 19. So if you're a 19th player, you put the formulas. You put 43 onto the last two digits, so 43 onto 05, so 48. Okay, so 20th player, 8 tops. 16th player, just take 2 off 8, so 6, so 16 double 16. And if you're an 18th player, you add 4 onto 8, 12. So it would be 12 double 18. Okay, now let's do so practicing for the miss. We're going for treble 19. We miss treble 19 and hit big 19. Take 20 off 105, so 85. Add one more on 86, and that would be treble 18 double 16. But should we go this way? Well, it's right next to a danger area, isn't it? It's right next to 3, so it would leave 1 or 2. So unless you're absolutely Johnny on the spot with treble 19, why bother? 3, a single number is always big when you're going for certainly when you're going for the adjacent treble. So let's not even go there. Okay, so I'm happy to cancel out treble 19 as well. Okay, so we've cancelled out treble 19, treble 17. Let's try treble 16 for 105. So the formula is you put 52, in this case 52 onto 5, 57. Okay, so 17 tops. That's how you finish that. And if we miss treble 16 and hit big 16, you take 20 off 105, so 85, and add 4 more on, so it's 89. Treble 89, treble 19, double 16. Okay, but I can't see any reason why we would go for treble 16 unless you never miss treble 16. Then maybe you could do it, because there's no real danger. Hitting 7 leaves 98, I believe, and hitting 8 leaves 97. So these are 2-dart finishes. They're not the easiest and more familiar 2-dart finishes, as opposed to if you're going up here in this area here, then you know 104 and 100 a lot better than those finishes. So I'm rambling on a little bit, but to be fair, let's sum up. I'm going to say no reason at all to go for those bottom finishes at all when you're on 105 with 3 darts. So you're going to go for treble 20 or treble 18, depending which one you get the most. Okay, depending on which one you're more familiar with. So that's the board management for 105. Okay, so I hope you're getting something from these. I'm having fun actually going through it myself. I've learned a few things, because there's certain trebles that you're used to, and you go certain ways for certain finishes, and you never really investigate other trebles. You just get taught a certain way, or some way you get used to going, and you never really look at it. So I'm enjoying doing this myself. Please let me know if you're enjoying it. But coming next time, we're going to be doing more board management. Keep on going and see if we can find any little gems, any other different ways to finish. Thanks so much for watching. Take care for now.